Santa baby, slip a rodent under the tree for me. You've been an awful good cat this year, so hurry to vlog with me tonight. Santa baby, a Chanel 2.55 handbag too, and shoes. You've been an awful good cat this year, so hurry to vlog with me tonight.
Good morning, everyone. I feel like this is pretty much the first time I'm wearing a super bright color again. Well, not super bright, but bright enough since dyeing my hair, and I'm actually really liking it. This sweater is pretty old, but it's super soft and it's got these little like colorful freckles in it that feel festive, and that paired with a big earring is basically like casual holiday outfit done for me. So today we have some new coffee to try out and I'm pretty excited about it, except I've already heard the consensus online, which is that it's a little bit underwhelming, but we're gonna try it anyway. Gingerbread is kind of the only flavored coffee that I really like, including, I'm mainly thinking of Starbucks, but in general as well. This time my order came with these little biscottis, which I feel like I'm gonna break a tooth on, but I'm still gonna eat them anyway, dipped in coffee. And then the other exciting thing about that delivery, sorry, excuse the messy bar cart, there's like a lot of stuff going on there, is the advent calendar. So come January, when it's like sad and gloomy outside, I'm gonna have one more calendar to open with a new coffee every day. I just wish they hadn't put any decaf in it. That's actually why I didn't buy it to drink during Vlogmas, is because I've heard, I don't think it's that many, it's probably like 2 or 3 or something, but why would you put decaf in there when that's going to be what you open in the morning? It just doesn't make any sense. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to add some of this. And I have really struggled to find good Canadian maple syrup on this side of the border, even though we're so close. It's kind of ridiculous. So I tried this one and I actually do really like it. I would say I like it 90% as much as the stuff I get in Vancouver, which if you live in Canada, like I never got anything fancy from like an actual farm or anything. I would just get the stuff from the tourist section at London Drugs, but it was still really good and made in Canada as well, and it was always medium grade, which is what this is as well. And I do really like the little Canadian Rudolph bottles, so I'm gonna add a little bit of that because I feel like flavored coffee that's not sweet is weird, and there's nothing else for me. The Vermont stuff is never gonna cut it, and put away that pancake syrup that I see even in the bougiest of diners here. Like, no, absolutely not. Hello everyone. So I had to make myself put my laptop down and come and do something that for many I think would feel like a real act of self-care. For me right now in this moment it feels more like an annoyance, but I know I'll be grateful. Future Elle will be grateful that I did this. I'm going to get my toes done, and you know, as of Sunday I'll be wearing a lot of sandals, so I'll be really happy that I made the time to do this rather than looking for somewhere to do it in Hawaii right before Christmas. Fun fact, gel pedicure appointment is the first appointment that I made after the pandemic, when it was allowed again to go, you know, in person for services like that. And the reason is that I really despise doing it with regular polish because I always mark it up. I have a tendency to tuck my legs underneath myself when I sit, or with my sheets or jeans, or I don't know what. I always find a way to mark it up. It never gets to dry fully ever. So it just doesn't work well for me. But I never purchased all of the equipments to do gel nail polish at home. I purchased the stuff to do powder at home, which really doesn't work well for pedicures. Longest story ever to tell you. I'm gonna go get a pedicure right now at this cute little place. They're super friendly. I haven't been here for a while. And I'm gonna get that done, and I'm not gonna show you my toes after, but I'm thinking I will probably get red because it's Christmas. And why not? And then after that, I've actually already pre-ordered sushi. Today was a rare day where I did not feel like cooking. It doesn't happen super often, but I really didn't feel like cooking, so I got some miso soup and some torched salmon nigiri, which are two of my favorite things, and a few other things that I probably didn't need, but you know how it is when you're like online ordering, especially, and they have the photos and they look so good and you're hungry. That's what happened. So I've scheduled that like military style. So it's a 5 p.m. appointment for my toes. Then I guesstimated I would be done at 5:45. So I have 5:45 pickup for the sushi. I'm gonna eat my sushi from like 5:45 to like 6:20 and then go back to work. And I'm actually really looking forward to what I'm sending out today. I'm looking forward to working on that. So I'm kind of like eager to get back to that, but these are good things to do. And I am really excited for sushi. I've been really craving sushi for a while. It's one of the things that I don't make myself, so it's really like a neat treat to get it for takeout. Here's my little feast and I can't wait. So this is the salmon nigiri sampler on the left side, torch salmon on the right. So this one is actually mostly cooked. And then this is a cherry blossom roll, which has salmon inside and avocado and then tuna on the outside. It is a little bit of a funny choice to get fish right before I go to Hawaii, but I really wanted this and really didn't want to cook, so this is what I ended up with. And then my usual miso soup. I asked for extra pickled ginger because I love it, and they delivered. And then with sushi, I really love having green tea, so this is my favorite brand, Yamamoto Yama, as usual. So that is going to be my dinner tonight. You can tell I was hungry because it's only been a few minutes and I've devoured most of it, but I have a question for you. Are there any other monsters out there like me who eat a cherry blossom roll, or what's the other one? Dragon roll, I think, has fish on top as well, and I peel it off and eat it like sashimi? And this is a really good place, so it's good fish. And then underneath, I have a salmon and avocado roll. Quirky, but I kind of always do this, especially if I'm on my own. I have the second to last batch of orders going out here in the Scarfmobile. Today's been crazy, so I'm just stealing away to buy some groceries. I think I'm gonna get some chicken or something like that to make dinner. I'm at that stage where it's like super awkward getting groceries because I don't want to get too much because otherwise it'll go to waste once I leave. But here is the second to last batch. This one is going to USPS, and then the very last batch tomorrow, I hope, if I'm able to get that all packed up, will go to UPS. So here we go. Let's put them into the box and I will have done a good job as an elf today in my green festive car. Answered emails. Now it's time to make some dinner. Everything's kind of messy in the kitchen. I apologize, but I did want to show you this because you know it's one of my signature things. I have some chicken thighs, marinated, boneless, skinless. They're gonna go in the air fryer, and what I marinate them in, just 20 minutes, is some half and half and some eggs and then some salt. Really simple, but it really does make a difference to how succulent the end result is. So if you have time, highly recommend. And now it's time to get out some breadcrumbs and then pop these babies into the air fryer. Here's the breading I use. Of course you can use panko and it turns out great too. I do that sometimes, but I feel like this is my signature. So what I add to it, super simple. A lot of cracked black pepper always, some really good paprika, and then some herbs. And this time I used a combination of a little bit of dried sage and a little bit of dried thyme. At the last minute I decided to add a little tiny bit of this seasoning too, but it's actually pretty strong, so I didn't want to do too much of it, because honestly you could use no like real seasoning, maybe just a little bit of pepper, and it would still be delicious. So you can see how much oil I add here. I'm showing you like kind of specifically so that you see that air frying, especially something like meat, I don't do it with no oil. I know that you can, and it's gonna cook, it's gonna come out pretty crispy, but it's gonna taste so much better if you do it this way. So I'm gonna pop it in, I'm gonna cook it for about 10 minutes, then I'm gonna flip it over, spray the other side, and cook another 10 or so. Let's take a look. 10 minutes in, wow, look at that. Might not actually need a full 20 minutes, but I'll still probably do about that because I like mine super crispy. And the nice thing about chicken thighs is they take longer to overcook. Leftover veggies, peri-peri sauce, I really like this stuff. And then here is the chicken, the pièce de résistance. See how crispy it is? And it's super juicy on the inside. See how juicy that is? And we'll do the food wishes test so you can hear how crispy it is. There we go. Or like a little tap. I don't know what works, but you get the drift. It's gonna be delicious because it always is. Whenever I don't know where she went, this is usually where she's at. You're like a cat donut. Oh, big yawn. Yes. Oh, stretchy stretch. Hi. No, I'm not allowed to touch the paw. Sammy lets me touch her paws and sometimes even hold and massage them. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It doesn't feel like Friday yet for me. I'm swamped with work. It's end of year time, so it's a big push for me right now. I apologize if the vlogs are boring. It's just the nature of the law game. But I thought I would show you the quick panic salad I'm gonna make with the leftover chicken. It really is very good. I've made this combination before. So I'm gonna use these steamed lentils. I'm gonna make a champagne mustard vinaigrette, which is exactly what it sounds like, a champagne vinegar, mustard. I'm gonna do a little bit of maple syrup and some olive oil, mix it up, and then toss it with all of these different ingredients. And this makes it extra festive with zero effort, which is kind of fun. Here's my lunch, and this salad has real potential to be beautiful. You could do some thinly sliced apple, some persimmons to add color, but really the trick is to put the pomegranates on top, and don't make my rookie mistake of putting it in with the dressing, so then you lose that pretty pop of red. But I really don't care because nutrition, some fuel for the afternoon, and something tasty is what was in order for me today. Hello again, everyone. I feel like I can now properly wish you happy Friday. Things have slowed down a little bit for me, and it's time to turn on the stove. Heat up that, yes, you guessed it, pasta water, because how can it be Friday if I'm not eating pasta? I poured myself a glass of butter wine. This is the white wine I always have in my fridge, more or less, because it's just the right price point where I don't feel super guilty cooking with it. I really hate Chardonnay, but this one is really good. It's buttery, it's crisp, it's got a nice richness to it. So I knew I was gonna eat pasta because it's been that kind of week that it had to happen, but I couldn't really figure out what kind of pasta I wanted. And I kind of set a sky's the limit thing for myself where like I would have gone to go and get an ingredient if I specifically wanted a certain type. But I kind of just feel like something really simple and good. And I have these cherry tomatoes, which are, you know, I don't have them earmarked for anything else before the trip. So I'm gonna make one of my favorite dinners, which is just garlic, which I'm gonna, you know, warm up in some olive oil, not fried up. I don't want to brown it or anything. I'm gonna add some thinly sliced shallot, and I do think that this whole thing tastes better with shallot than it does with onion. Sometimes I make it with just, you know, sweet onion, but it does taste better, I think. And what else? There's going to be very little else to it. It's really just a celebration of the cherry tomatoes and the olive oil. Use good olive oil. My boyfriend got me this beautiful bottle, but don't be fooled, I've refilled it for about 45 times with still, you know, very good first cold pressed extra virgin olive oil, but it comes in this like giant tin thing that I always spill everywhere and refill it, but then it looks, you know, pretty on my kitchen counter, so I love that. So that's really important, to use the good stuff. You know, you want the kind of olive oil that's going to have beautiful color to it and actual flavor, and you don't want to heat it up too much, just enough to cook down the cherry tomatoes a little bit where they kind of pop. And you guessed it, I'm going to top it all off with a ton of Parmesan, and that's going to be my dinner. I'm quite looking forward to it. Oh, and I don't know if I, you know, caught a sort of corner of your eye shot of this. Doesn't it look disgusting? This is not something that looks like you would want to eat, but these are frozen bananas, you know, that's just what they look like, and they make the best banana bread, and I'm going to make that hopefully tonight or tomorrow morning if I don't get to it, but I wanted to defrost them, and you know, out comes this kind of slimy banana pulp, and it truly looks like something that you, I mean, cannot even bake with, but trust, it makes the best banana bread. I don't know why. I think it tastes better than using fresh bananas. It's actually been quite a minute since I've traveled anywhere during Vlogmas or in a vlog, and so you may not know, if you're a more recent subscriber, that I have this strange philosophy against plane or airport food where I actually would rather starve than eat any of it, so I always bring a picnic, always. And it usually consists of 3 Ziploc bags, depending on which time of day I fly. Ziploc bag number 1, some cheese. It's often Parmesan. Sometimes it could be like a cheddar or something like that, or Comté. Those are all cheeses that, you know, travel really well. They don't get weird when they're out of the fridge for, you know, you're not going to want to eat any of this like 5 hours later, but they will make it into the plane ride no problem. Second Ziploc baggie is usually nuts. This time I have, ooh, should I go and take that? I'm gonna go and take that. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry, but actually kind of on point because we were talking about, you know, arrangements for the trip and stuff. I was talking about picnics for planes, so I think what I was saying was about the nuts that I always bring. Sometimes I bring almonds, sometimes walnuts. I have pecans in the fridge, so I think I'm gonna bring some of those and some candied walnuts. I'll do like a little trail mix kind of situation, and then I'm gonna bring the banana bread this time. And sometimes if it's like a longer trip and it's gonna be over, you know, an actual real meal time, because this is an evening flight, so I don't think it's gonna really be dinner. We'll probably eat an early dinner before we leave, but for like an actual dinner time or lunchtime trip, I pack, sometimes I'll pack sandwiches. One of my favorite things to do, because I grew up with it, so it's super nostalgic for me, is to pack cold meatballs. My mom always like packed that for anything when I was younger, and they were like kind of these like, it's almost more of like a patty to you guys probably than a meatball, because, you know, American meatballs are usually these big like head-sized round things. My mom made them kind of flatter, and so they're kind of easy to hold and eat, and guaranteed everyone on the flight always thinks that you're crazy, but they're also eyeing your food at the same time. Sometimes it's the simple things. There's something about the smell of this that is so comforting, and I think it's so beautiful the way the skin from the tomatoes, these haven't really popped yet, the skin's just starting to crack a little bit from the heat. Can you see how the oil takes on some of that color? Like, just, so gorgeous. BB's already in weekend mode. Do your cats do this? She does this a lot, but so did my previous cat, Fufu. You guys know I love so much. still think of him often. Our pets who pass away never really leave us, and it does remind me of him a little bit when she does this. Beepy. Precious. So funny. Sammy, are you confused? At the last minute, I decided I was sad I didn't have any basil and I wanted, you know, some green in there. So instead, I added the same salad I ate at lunch, arugula and spinach. Just keeping it real, guys. And I'm just gonna drag over that hot pasta, bring some of the pasta water with it to make a nice sauce. Yes, so excited. And I'll just wilt down all those greens. I never miss one little string of spaghetti. I gotta get it all hunted down in the water. And you can do this whole thing roasted in the oven, but then what happens is that you get a result that's a little bit more sweet. Like you bring out the caramelization of the tomatoes more, and so you just end up with a little bit of a different flavor profile but the same ingredients. That's more of like, you know, the TikTok pasta that you would have seen everywhere this summer, but I really like the freshness of this version. So we're just gonna mix that up to combine and let it absorb that beautiful sauce that we created. Isn't it funny how much these types of greens just disappear? Like that was like a whole salad that I put in there, and now it looks just like I put 3 leaves in there. Not gonna lose any of those. And now it's time to let it snow. Make it a blizzard. It's kind of a summery dish, but I'm totally here for it. It tastes so fresh. The sweetness of those tomatoes really comes through. Perfect Friday night meal. Good morning. Happy Saturday. It is not bright and early. I am just waking up, but before I have my coffee, I thought I would go ahead, have a little glass of water, and do a workout. And this is much overdue. I absolutely love this subscription because she has so many workouts that are around 20 minutes, 15 to 25 minutes. And that's a perfect amount for me to be able to squeeze into the beginning of my day, even during the work week. Somehow an hour, even 45 minutes feels just absolutely not doable. Even if that's not real, you know, these are the tricks we play with ourselves, but it definitely makes it feel like something I can do every day, except for these last couple of weeks with the Christmas rush for my business and just being very busy with work and life. It's just not happened, but it's never too late to start again. So I'm going to start again and aim to do it every single day until New Year's. So we'll see how we do. Tomorrow, a travel day, is the kind of day I would definitely, you know, not count, but it's a later flight, so I might actually be able to do it. We'll see. But I'm really happy with my setup. I never had a yoga mat I really loved until this one, so I will link it down below, and these weights are super handy as well and really comfortable to wear. Hello again, everyone. It's quite a bit later. It's dark now and getting to be almost dinner time. Look at this beautiful chicken noodle soup I've had cooking. This is cooked for about 3 hours, and it's just a chicken, dried shiitake mushrooms, vegetables, and lots of herbs. And there's nothing as comforting on a cold, relaxing day than a bowl of chicken noodle soup. So that's the plan. But then I'm also finally executing this. Looks like nothing now, but this is going to be some delicious banana bread. And I used the Food Wishes recipe, and it's the only one I like. I really love how it tastes, and I love how well it lasts as well, because it's good past the first day. Big old mess over here, and I thought I would show you a before shot, embarrassing as it is. This is my pantry, and it has been like this for quite a while and just gotten worse and worse and worse. So I'm gonna try and tackle that this evening and see how I do. It's still gonna be super full because there are a lot of things that need to be used up, but I'm hoping that I can allocate it all so that it just, you know, is less of a disaster. So I'm gonna do that, take everything out. Unfortunately, that's the only way, isn't it, is to pull everything out and then try and make some categories, find some organization, and, you know, potentially get rid of things that are no good anymore as well, although I don't think there's too much of that going on. Isn't she a beauty? Golden brown. And a tip, if you do use the Food Wishes recipe, I like to sub pecans for walnuts. I don't know why, I think it tastes good. And what else do I do that's different? Oh, I don't add any chocolate chips because I get tired of them after the first couple of slices, and then I tint it. And you can see it's actually already pretty dark, but I tint it for like the last 20 minutes or so, because otherwise I find it gets way too dark, like much darker than this, before, you know, the center is fully set. So I actually think that last one is kind of a necessary tip. All right, here's the after drawer by drawer. Doesn't that look so much better? I had no idea I had 3 bags of this. It's really good, but I don't know if it's like 3 bags good. And then at the back, some of those I have extras, but I just put them at the very bottom shelf, and then I can bring them up as I use them up. This shelf is specifically designed to shame me into using more dried beans. Purchased all these really good, these are the gigantes, you know, like at Greek restaurants, that are so good. These are local chickpeas, and there's just a lot of good dried goods here, so I really wanted that to be very accessible. So it doesn't look great, and, you know, in a home edit style makeover, all of this would be in glass jars with beautiful labels, and I kind of did go in that direction when I was living in Vancouver. I had about a dozen of them with all of my basic baking ingredients, but then I left them all behind, and I just haven't really wanted to spend that money again. So I might do that at some point, but I feel like it would be a better fit in a kitchen with more shelving so that you can really kind of see those things anyway. This is more limited in space, so I don't know, the solution works for me, but it was just a disaster before. And case in point, I think I told you guys I had no canned beans to make minestrone. Well, I lied without knowing it, because there is 1 can there. So I have a lot of things, especially in this drawer, that I had no idea I had. This drawer, I knew that I had these things, but I just have been ignoring them. But this drawer is filled with a lot of things, tuna and so forth, that I thought I had run out of, and I had not. And I just think everything looks so much more spacious and identifiable. And you can see what I did here. Hello, Sammy. Yeah. Hi, can we help you? Now there's a lot in the bottom here, but it's still all pretty well sectioned off. At the back, I have disgusting wine from The Usual. Sorry, you know I'm not usually that negative about brands, especially new brands, but it's just not good. So it's back there to use up for cooking. And then towards the front, I have iced coffee, you know, coffee that you'd want to drink cold, so I probably won't use that until the spring, and that's fine. I checked the dates and they work, but you know, they don't need to be super accessible. And then I tried to put some of the heavy things here, so big bags of flour, big jars of tomato sauce, big bags of rice, and then extra pasta. And that is my little pantry tour, which I just looks so much better than before. That makes me really happy. It's gonna make cooking so much less stressful. And look at how beautiful that pasta looks. Just shining star. Quick travel outfit of the day. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see my mom. I've kind of been wearing the same thing every time I travel anywhere, and it's just really comfortable and feels really me. So I kept the makeup really minimal because I'm going to be in a mask for a long time, and just put a little bit of my Ilia skin tint, a little bit of eyeliner, mascara, and done. And then I'm wearing this cashmere cable knit cardigan. I love the pattern on it. It's from Nordstrom. If they still have it, I will link it down below. I have a basic gray t-shirt in case I want to take off my cardigan once we arrive. That way, you know, it's just a simple basic outfit really, with Lululemon leggings and my favorite, most comfortable loafers from M. Gemini. And I don't know for sure that these are the shoes I'm going to wear. The only problem with them is I probably won't wear them that much in Hawaii, but I think I'm going to favor being here and then arriving home and just having really comfortable shoes that don't give me blisters. That's kind of my take on it. And then I've got my champagne cream scarf, which as of filming this video right now is pretty much effectively sold out. There's one left at the moment, and everything on my site is now on pre-order until mid-January, when I will be back in business. So thank you all so much for your orders so far. I shipped my last one out yesterday at the very last moment, and now I'm done, which I'm so pleased with. It's been a really busy season, but all worth it to get here to vacation time. You know you made it when you see this. All right, homeward bound. Well, I know I'm home when there's a murder show on the TV. A beautiful Christmas tree. Look at that. And there's already presents underneath it. And it's beachy. And this is nostalgic because it's from the Almana. It was like a free gift with purchase like 4 years ago or something. And we have a Christmas poodle. Yes! It's officially Poodlemas. It is. It's Poodlemas. Are you happy, lady? Where's the toy? Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Papal. Shishi papal? Where is papal? Yes! Yes, we have a ball. All right. Well, my services are otherwise required, everyone. But I did want to show you the poodle, making it officially Poodlemas, and time to vlog in Hawaii. So thank you so much for watching. Until now, I'm going to end this here, and I will see you tomorrow in the next Vlogmas installment. Bye.